Well, good morning. How is everyone? Good, good. If you don't know me, my name is Wade Hachman. All the faces are familiar, but I still don't know everyone's name. But I'll get there. I will get there. So, welcome, July 29th, MPCA meeting. If you all don't mind, what we're going to do first is Clint Ross is here with us today. Clint is with Pure Pest, as we've had some pests in our area for many months, I understand. There they are, right there.
There they are.
So, yeah, see, that, I don't know if that's actually what they look like, but it was the one picture I found. But Clint is here. Pure Pest is our new company that we're going with to help with our silverfish problem. I'm going to turn it over to him first. Let him speak so he can get out of here. He's got a lot of rodents and things to get to. So, all right, Clint.
Good morning, everybody. As you said, my name is Clint Ross. I am the Director of Home Services, which means I handle pest and lawn for... Louder? Give me your feedback there. I have an innate fear of amplification. I always feel like I'm going to yell at you all by talking too loud. So I'm the Director of Home Services for Pure Pest. We're out of Valley Park. We're locally owned. We actually do the services for several other Lutheran Senior Services properties. We do Laclede Groves, we do Merrimack Bluffs, among others. We're a company that is always going to pride ourselves on providing a good service as well as being hospitable, right? So they have asked us to come in. This was actually a process that we started about a year and a half ago. So Mason Pointe, we might be new to you. Mason Pointe is not new to us. I've been scoping out this property for about a year and a half, coming up with a plan, waiting for the opportunity for us to be able to come in and serve you guys. What that means for all of you is I've gone through and looked at the books. Some of you I've talked to as we toured about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I came in with a guy that is on my team, and we were assessing the property, getting reports from people that lived here. And overwhelmingly, silverfish has been the big problem. A few people with ants, spiders, but silverfish has been the big problem. Our plan is we wanted to present to you, let you know who we are, let you know that we care deeply about your living experience here. And we're going to come in and start to install a program which part will be preventative, part will be taking care of the problem that already exists. It is going to be a process. What this is going to look like, I think it might have been relayed that we're coming on the 5th. We're actually coming on the 7th. It's going to be me, and it's going to be our 2 field managers, as well as Todd Tegler. Todd Tegler is a guy that came to us. He's been in the business about 43 years. He knows more about bugs than anyone I've ever met. And so we are bringing him to bear to try and figure out what is the source of this silverfish problem. It does none of you any good for us to come in every month and treat with complaints. We want to treat those complaints, and then on the 7th, we want to isolate what's the source, where are all these coming from. I'm not going to get too specific about this because I don't know the source yet. That's what we're going to find out on Wednesday. What you will experience from us is Sean Cuellar is going to be our ongoing technician here. I'm going to be visiting with him on an ongoing basis until we have the silverfish problem solved. So while I can't commit to saying, hey, as of the 7th, you won't have any more silverfish problem, but you will see me until that problem ceases to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's a process. I wish I could go into the basement and go to the breaker box and flip off the bug circuit. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. But we're going to treat, we're going to get you down to pest zero as quickly as we can, and then we're going to monitor, and we're going to figure out why is this happening, and through diligence, we'll take care of it. And then we're going to be here every week. And Sean's twice as charming as me, half as good looking, so it kind of balances out. But he's a big guy. He's bald, he looks like Santa Claus, he wears a headband, and you're going to love him. The other properties he does are Mercy Hospital, and he does all of our major properties like this, so he's very good at what he does. I'm not sure, do you want me to open up for questions, or? Seems like there might be a lot of questions. I will be here on the 7th. I will tell you this, as we come and do this, we would really like to be able to talk with you. If you're busy and you have plans that day, that's fine. We're gonna have employees with us to get us access. It'll be me getting up into the attics of the 3rd floor. We'll have guys going around the outside doing preventive stuff around the landscaping, and then 2 guys going room to room. So if you're there and you're available, we'd love to be able to meet with you and get some information. We'd love to be able to put down some monitoring boards and just begin to collect data on where is the density, where are most of the silverfish coming from. So that's what we really want to accomplish on the 7th. Go ahead.
As you treat for pests, how do you handle pets?
Pets? So this is what I'm going to tell you. We pride ourselves, we take our name Pure Pest, pure being good for the environment and good for you, bad for pests. What I will tell you is the stuff that we're going to put into your apartments, you should treat it like anything that you have underneath your kitchen sink, right? Windex is safe as long as it's used appropriately. Lysol is safe as long as it's used appropriately. What that means for you all is if we come in and we treat and you feel something wet, wash your hands with soap and water. The biggest risk to you or your pets is that somebody gets it in their eye. So it's the same thing as Windex or anything that you would use to clean your home. Does that answer your question?
Yes. Thank you.
So in regards to pets, what particular type of pet do you have?
Cat.
Cat? Okay, so I have 3 cats. If you would like to isolate your cat or your pet, that's perfectly fine. What we put down will take about 20 minutes for it to dry. We put it on as a mist. Nothing's going to be aerosolized so that you could breathe in or inhale it. Everything else is going to be strategically placed. So if you feel safer putting your pet in the bedroom, by all means.
Oh, I like that answer, thank you.
Okay.
So what are our responsibilities to you to get our apartment prepared for you coming in?
So basic due diligence, great question. Basic due diligence, I've been in a ton of these, and I'm willing to bet that every one of you keeps your apartments clean. Meaning,
What about our shoes?
So with the products that we use, we actually use what's called a transfer agent. A lot of you have probably come up in the time where we did all the baseboards with barrier and repellent pesticides. We utilize something that's called a transfer agent, which means we don't have to do every inch of your baseboards because we actually want the bugs to run through there. We don't want it to die right away because we want it to run back into its home, get into the walls, and take that medicine back into the walls. So in terms of you pulling things away from the walls, moving your TV, your shoes, not really necessary. I mean, if you want to do some due diligence, make sure that we have some areas to treat, that's fine. The areas we're going to be focused on is your kitchen, your bathroom. If you live in an apartment that has a patio door, windows, all the ins and outs where bugs come. I'm not so much concerned about your closet. We will get those in the first 3 months as they come and go. So moving all your shoes out and cleaning out your closet, not necessary.
Thank you.
Are you going to come to every apartment, or do you need to know who should we refer?
Every apartment. In independent living. That's going to be on the 7th.
What do we as residents attract silverfish? What do you recommend that we do, as we live in, how can we restrict silverfish
So-
to be attracted to our apartment?
Basic due diligence, silverfish are always attracted and will multiply in a place where moisture is a problem. So if you notice anything in your apartment where if you're, do you have a furnace air conditioner unit in your unit?
No.
Okay, so some people do. That would be something, if you saw moisture puddling, that would be something to let us know, because that is a place where silverfish will proliferate. It's hard for me to tell you we'll handle that on a unit by unit basis as we come through. But moisture is the thing that we're really looking for with silverfish. Every pest has its risk factors of where it proliferates, and that's what we're looking for with silverfish.
Thank you.
Question. I was down at the pool a couple of weeks ago and walking around, walk out. I'm the only guy there. I'm looking at the water, and there's 3 little silverfish. Well, it's good. I jumped out real quick, got away. But there were, a couple of days later, I was there again. I caught them. Pushed them, because nobody believed me. They were there. Are silverfish allowed in the pool?
So he says he was on a walk going around the pool and he found 3 silverfish. His question is, are silverfish allowed in the pool? And I think I'll have to check with the bylaws, but I don't think they are.
They told me that they're not in the water.
Well, they're always going to be attracted to moisture. So when you have pumps, skimmers, splashes around there, it makes sense that they would be there.
I think
Yeah. Any other questions? Otherwise, I will be here with 3 other professionals on the 7th at 9 a.m. We look forward to meeting each and every one of you. If you see me walking around, because I'm going to be here on a fairly regular basis, feel free to say hello. You don't have to remember my name. Just say, hey, Bugman, I got a question. And I'll happily oblige. I may not always have the answer, but I know some really smart people where I can find the answer. So
Thank you.
thank you for your time.
All right, so the overview is new contractor Clint Ross, August 7th. So they sprung that on me about 5 minutes before this presentation, so I couldn't change it. So, and you all will receive notification when they're coming into your apartment, okay? And by the way, everybody has their own unit in the apartment,
Yeah.
just so you all know. Okay. Thank you, Clint.
Thank you, Wade.
Thank you, Clint.
All right, so there is our agenda. So we'll get to that, but you want to go ahead and start with the... first thing I want to talk about, I put this in there. I wanted to thank all of you, thank the staff here at Mason Pointe. It's been a great few weeks for me. I feel like this is my home now, and I appreciate you all inviting me in. This is a beautiful place, but more than that, it's the people that make any community. And I just want to thank all of you for accepting me, and I'm looking forward to this journey in my career and being with you all through this. So I know Dale and I were talking about this morning, and this goes for Dale as well. You all have just really, made us feel like we're part of this team and this community, and I can't thank you guys enough. So, all right, so we'll do the committee updates.
Building and grounds.
Okay, go around on the side. Good morning.
Yeah, we're ready to go. Top of my list was silverfish. I don't think I need to cover that. 2 must items, silverfish and the contaminated water that 261 suffers from time to time. That's still a work in progress. We don't have a complete answer to that, but we are, and it is better, I think, in talking with Gene. Leveling the sidewalk on the north parking area. I think we're planning to cut that slab out. Dale's taking a look at that and cut that slab out and re-pour it rather than trying to level it or grind it back. Grinding has its own set of problems. Based on John Houghton's internet research, we've got a lot of information about things we might try to do to deal with geese and moles, and we're putting a plan together for when the geese come back in the fall. Won't be too long now. Sauna project is on hold. The unfinished landscape items are being resolved. And Dale has met with the contractor, has looked at what got done and what didn't get done, and we're putting together a plan, or Dale is, as to what we can do this fall and what we'll have to carry over into next spring. So that's a work in progress. Dog park items that we brought up have been resolved, I think. One of the questions we had, we talked a month ago, were deck cleaning, window washing, the deep cleaning process, and Dale and Paul are working on that, trying to figure out how we can go about doing that with staff that's available. We had some new items when we met on the 18th, inside lighting reduction. There's a hall, at least one hall this morning after the power failure is on dim, others aren't, and timers have been reset at least one time around. And we'll keep trying to figure out how we can resolve that, prevent them from going dim at lunchtime rather than in the middle of the night. Curb marking came up again for E1 and E2. We're looking at some alternatives there as to how we might mark the curb. I guess it was the COO from Lutheran Senior Services. He made a presentation here, talked about making E1 an entrance only, no exit at that point. Building and Grounds would not recommend that. We would recommend keeping that both in and out, because if you say you can only go out at 2 and 3, you've shortened your merge distance onto the interstate. So we'll see where that goes, and that's the position that Building and Grounds would take. Block fire doors at the top of the ramp. We still try to understand why those go closed when there's no need. And turn electrical circuit off and they close, and then have to be blocked open while that circuit is off. And we're looking for some way to switch that around and get that resolved. Hall temperatures came up. 75 is supposed to be hall temperatures, and we'll be looking at the settings of the thermostats in the halls. Let's see. I think that's all that I have. Are there questions or comments from anybody? Yes, Sally.
Is the path over on the east side part of Mason Pointe and is that part of your grounds? That
Yes.
asphalt path over there that
Yes.
goes into Mason Ridge?
Right.
Because that's a total safety hazard, and a lot of people walk on it. So is there any plan to address?
I thought we had resolved that, but no, if it hadn't been resolved, we'll look at that and see what we can do with it.
Yeah,
Thank
there's
you.
all kinds of moss and dirt, and I see lots of residents walk. I walk it, I know a lot of residents walk it, but it is definitely
Okay.
needs some maintenance.
Thank you. Anything else?
Scott?
No.
Well, you and I have discussed this in the past, and I discussed it with Drew last fall, that these two doors in the hall, just up from 40 West, are being blocked with stoppers at the bottom, and that's illegal against code,
Right.
and
That's a power issue, because the power gets shut down over on the other side, and those doors close.
can't they work on that though and get
Yeah,
that?
that's what we're gonna try to resolve.
Been going on since last fall.
Yeah, it's been going on as long as I've been here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ken. Anybody else? Thank you all very much.
Employee appreciation. Thank you. Yes, I just wanted to do two things very quickly to let you know that we're in a little bit of transition. We have great members on the committee. We're just in the process, as we say, picking a new committee chair. So I'm going to do the update today, and we'll get that accomplished when we have our next meeting. First, I want to say thank you to all of you so much. Thanks to your support from our family and friends all across Mason Pointe. We are expanding our employee appreciation program, and we are doing a lot of things that allow us to serve all of the staff in a variety of different ways. So some of those are big things like the gift cards all of the staff received at the picnic. I understand those were very well received. And so that's a great thing. But we're also going to be doing little things, because we've learned through the years that sometimes it's not just the big things we do, like the Christmas appreciation gift, and then the gift card, but also it's the little things. So we're going to be doing a variety of things throughout the next few months. Anytime you would like to make a gift to the Employee Appreciation Fund for those general things, those are always appreciated. We have some funds right now. We have a number of things that we're looking at and talking about doing throughout the rest of the year, but we could always use a little bit more help. So anytime you want to say thank you to the staff, the best way to do that is to make a gift to the fund, so then we can share that with everyone. So other than that, you guys are doing great. Our philanthropic culture here is growing with leaps and bounds, and we really are doing a great job of showing appreciation for all of the staff. Does anyone have a specific question for me? Okay, great. Have a super day.
The food committee said they don't have an update. Lifestyle enrichment.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to be rather brief today, and first say that we're looking forward to a number of musical activities. I think you all know that music is really what I love. This first one on my list, thanks to Mary, it was her idea. On Tuesday, August 6th at 6:30, the Wur Tanzen German folk dance will be with us, which should be a lot of fun. On Saturday, August 10th, we'll switch gears a little bit, and a friend that I know who is a flutist or flautist, whichever way it's to be pronounced, with the St. Louis Community Orchestra will be here with the group, and that undoubtedly will be wonderful. Tuesday, August 13th, our Hope Harmonizers are back with us at 3 o'clock. They were good and fun, and they've been here before. And then on Saturday, August 17th, we have a student group coming, and they will be playing a variety of instruments, and that's at 11 o'clock. And these are students, to identify them a little bit. You may remember a pianist named Zina Ilyashov, who has been here. Zina's son is a pianist and a music teacher, and knowing Zina, I know he has to be fabulous. Well, the kids that are coming are students of Zina's son. So that'll be good. And then today we have this very afternoon at 3 o'clock, a reminder we have a speaker on the 1904 Swimming Olympics, Michael Lloyd. That's all I'm going to say right now.
Okay, thanks, Vi. I see that Diana has her yellow sheet. Would you hold that up, please? Okay, we hope everybody got their yellow sheet and newsletter. It was in the mail slot. If not, if you didn't get one or you've misplaced yours, just please pick up another one down on the shelf by the mailboxes. I'm going to just briefly go over our trips. We have a Missouri History Museum trip, and that's a makeup trip for those who signed up before and the trip had to be canceled. So if you're on that list, check Touchtown and see if your name's there. We have on the 23rd, the trip to the Lavender Farm, and that's $25, but it includes a box lunch. The Lavender Farm is near Wright City. It's just a beautiful nice place that you'll enjoy is just sitting or looking at all the flowers. August the 14th, we have the DeMoulin Museum coming. Also on August 16th, we have a trip to the weather station. So does anybody have any questions about those? Always check Touchtown. Also, please check to see what the difficulty rating is. There's 1, 2, and 3. So check that before you sign up for the trip, or if you want, information regarding those. We have Ann Sieben coming on August 15th. She is a pilgrim. She has walked all over the world, and her walking exceeds probably, I don't know how many miles, but she will be here on August 15th. Len Campanero will be talking about animals from Australia on August 19th. Wine tasting is on August 20th. The menu and the pricing is still being determined. And then we're going to have the Missouri Conservation Department talk about Good as Gold, which is about sunflowers and Native American culture. That's on August 27th. So again, we're just highlighting what's on the yellow sheet or in our newsletter, but please check both. Yes?
Could you clarify the time on the History Museum trip?
Yes, it says 9:30 to 10:30.
Okay, I'll have staff do that.
It's 9:30, we should arrive back here about 1. I changed that time on Touchdown. It's fixed. So you guys might have got a message, just ignore that message. We are leaving here at 9:30.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it's very confusing because it.
Thank you. Anybody else have a question?
I really don't have a question, but I'd just like to remind anybody that the last stages for this season is going to be Wednesday, the 21st of August. And the bus, I think, will be, hopefully, will be at 1 o'clock in the lobby, hopefully. That's all.
Thank you, Denise. Anyone else? Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
The Wellness Committee.
Okay, August is coming up. Can you believe it? So some events we have for you. Do you remember we used to do a grief support group? And then we did another grief support group. They were a little different. One was a CAN program. One was just a let it flow. Well, we have a third one for you, and this one should be pretty good. Starting on the 13th of August, and every third Friday of the month thereafter, Gayla Mays, who's the LSS Hospice Bereavement Coordinator, will be doing a grief support group. It'll be 10 a.m. in the morning, 3rd floor library. Do you remember the honey tasting that we had scheduled for last month? Well, it's been rescheduled. Now we're on the 29th of August, 11 a.m., but now it's in 40 West Round Room. That way more people can enjoy the tasting. And I assume we have to sign up all over again for that. You know how we're having the Olympics. Now we have a Mason Pointe Olympics coming up. On the 20th of August, there is the Aquatic Games. And guess where that is? It's in the pool. Then 2 days later, we're having Olympic track and field activities, which will be in this room due to the heat and other nasty weather. Are you making a change?
No.
Oh.
I'm going to try to get Lady Gaga for the opening ceremony.
Oh.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Well, I have a comment to that, but I'm going to withhold it. We have one speaker for you in August on the 21st, Michael Gorman, who's from iMove. He was here a month or two ago and spoke on nerves. He will be speaking on sleep. He'll be up here in this room. And if you wonder why we're talking about sleep, well, it's because in the Wellness Committee, we were talking about best sleeping positions. Someone said on your back, and I'm thinking it's on your side, and we realized we don't really know what is the best sleeping condition for your health. So we're hoping he's going to clarify that for us. August is National Wellness Month. Wellness Month. So we're inviting you to prioritize your own self-care, to reduce your stress, like that's easy to do, and create healthier habits to feel like your best self. Now, if you're wondering how you do that, if you get on Uniguest and you do a search and just type in wellness, it'll bring up all the wellness activities that are available to you, and you can pick a lot of stuff there that should improve your health.
The Hook and Needle Club.
Good morning. We know there are some new people that moved in with us, and they maybe don't know we have a shop.
Over in the middle of the block.
Oh, okay, cool. There's a shop upstairs on the 3rd floor in the meeting room, and if you need a last minute gift or even thinking ahead, you need a birthday gift or baby shower gift. Maybe you need a birthday card, any kind of cards. We have all those available in our Hook and Needle shop. All our proceeds go to the Employee Appreciation Fund, which is very, very important to all of us. I brought a couple of things to just when we first started the shop, we made a whole bunch of these. We call them clothing protectors. And now they're very helpful. We even have independent living residents buying them from us. They're reversible. We need a bunch of these for the care center, but then realized our own people wanted some, so they're $6. We have a bunch to choose from, all kinds of patterns. And we have other items, gifts, knickknacks, so you should stop by.
We've also got some purses in and some scarves. We have some more wreaths, and we have paintings by staff and residents, jewelry, cutting boards made by residents, trivets made by a resident, and other favorites. When we made the donations of the clothing protectors, there was like 3 or 4 volunteers that helped us do that, so we do appreciate that. Ours are, like Judy said, 2 to 4, but if you need to come another time, give Judy or I a call. We're happy to open up the shop. The cards that she mentioned are free because we have this wonderful staff that gave us all these greeting cards. So please come in and choose your cards. Are there any questions?
Do you want me to show this last thing?
It's up to you.
We have stress relievers. You just need a piece of wood and you go. Okay? $5.
Nobody has stress here. This is a stress-free community.
Right.
The Library Club. The Veterans Club. Veterans Club.
Good morning. For those that don't know me, my name is Hank Fisher, and I'm one of 58 veterans living here in Mason Pointe. And we have a monthly veterans meeting at 9:30, the first Monday of the month. And all Mason Pointe residents are invited. I mean, all Mason Pointe residents are invited. So look forward to seeing you. Now, the next meeting will be on Monday, October the 5th. August the 5th. I'll get my months right. Somebody said we're in November. Anyway, on Monday, August the 5th, and we'll have Mike Allen talk to us about his experiences, his story while serving the country in the Army. We will not have a meeting in September because of Labor Day conflicts. So then the meeting after that in October, I'll get it right. In October, we will have two veterans who, Ken Stetcher and also, I'll have to look at mine, Warner Bauer, will be talking about their combined 15 years as in the reserves. And then in November, we have our Veterans Day meeting, and that's on November the 11th. And part of that, we will have the choir, the Mason Pointe Senior Choir, Senior Super Seniors Choir, world renowned. They will be singing under the direction of Kelly. And also, part of that presentation will be pictures of all the veterans that live here with their names. Now, if you haven't been here last year, we did similar thing. Please have your picture taken, and if you can find a picture of yourself in uniform, that would be great. But the chances of that, based on previous requests, has been very slim. So any picture of you as a veteran would be great. And if you would give that picture to me or to Nancy Gray, we will scan it and return it. So we're not going to keep it. So please, if you're a veteran and you haven't had your picture taken, at least probably if you're here very recent, at least in the past year, we need to get your picture. So remember, Nancy Gray or myself will scan it and return it. So that is the Veterans Report. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them. Otherwise, thanks and have a great day.
This is the fun part. Our new move-ins, and we've had quite a few. So would you all please stand? Maureen, I'm going to call your name again. Would you please stand? Dolores Miller, if you're here, would you please stand? Walter and Barbara Gerst. Marie Metzger. Okay. Jim and Janine Bowden. Bev McLaughlin. Jim and Eileen Fritsch. And Jim and Marcy Emery. Well, we'll catch them again next month.
Mary?
Yes. Yes.
How about pictures? We don't see the pictures on Facebook or on.
Okay, yeah. When we visit them, we give them information about having their picture taken, by Kay Wood, and they can call whenever they feel like if they're moving in and everything. That's probably not one of the first things they're going to do. But that is the request. We give them information when they move in, along with other information about Touchtown and etc. But that is how that works.
But that's helpful to see a picture.
Yes, it's very helpful to see a picture. But I don't know, does the staff want to say anything about that? Kay takes the pictures, and does she give them?
She sends them to me as soon as they're taken. I upload them.
And then Beth uploads them to Touchtown. Okay. But if you see a stranger that doesn't look like a regular resident, just say hi. Welcome. We're glad you're here.
Nothing from the workshop.
All right, that concludes our meeting. All right, so one of the big things that Dale and I have been doing this month for our 3 weeks here is really just listening, seeing what's out there, what are the hot topics here. Our goal is to really take these hot topics to 2 or 3. Right now there's about 6 or 7 that we've heard and that we are learning about and going to have some solutions to. So one of those topics that I've heard on a couple of occasions is just communication in general. And it's been real general. So obviously, you know, I'm still learning. Okay, I hear Mary call it Touchtown, then it's Uniguest. I know it's all the same. Email. I've called a few residents. No matter what our communication is, it's going to improve. I think you all will see that it improves. I would have to have specific examples as to what you're looking for, if you're looking for something different from the leadership team here. But we believe that this will improve as you get more communication from us. So we'll continue to do this through email, text, telephone, and we'll see how things progress. But I think you'll see a big difference. So, okay, the Mason Pointe expansion. So this has been going on for a long time, right? About a year and a half or so. So I was privileged to be able to go to my first Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, and it was so fun. Yeah. I got to meet all of the, well, I didn't get to meet them all, but I met the ones that were for the plan. So actually, so on July 17th, I met with Ron, who is the COO, who was here last month talking about this. And we had a vote, and the vote has passed to move the recommendations for the expansion forward to the Architectural Review Board. So I think that, yeah, it was a 4-2 in favor. I will mention this, and I've talked to a couple residents about it. One of the gentlemen on the committee said, you know, I'm not in the business to, I forgot all of you all over here, I'm sorry. I'm not in the business to add more apartment buildings to Town and Country. That was his comment. At the time, I was only in this job seven days, so I didn't immediately jump up like I wanted to and explain to this gentleman that this is more than an apartment building. If you want to go to an apartment building, I'll take you to my daughter's one at Mizzou. No one knows anyone. You see people on the elevator. This is a community. This is a lifestyle. So we're all on this cruise together. This is what it really is about. It's about people. It's not about apartments and all of that kind of stuff. Yes, you have a nice apartment and we want that to be great, but this is more than just an apartment building. I wanted to explain that to this guy, but I didn't think it was probably appropriate yet. But I'll probably see him next month. All right, so then we're going to move on to the Architectural Review Board. My understanding with that is it should be a slam dunk. Somebody knock on some wood. Give me that doll. It's really just about architectural plans. There shouldn't be anything in there that is, you know, out of the ordinary. So my understanding is that will go through. Once that passes, then we are going to move to the Board of Aldermen meeting. And that's where it was at one point in the future, or I'm sorry, in the past. So it didn't pass at one time. Here we go. Let's see what's happened. So you all know that concessions have been made almost everything that the city has asked of Mason Pointe and LSS, they have really complied with. So really, it's coming down to one tree that's in that corner, on that west corner, that people are really worried about. I will say, in just my view of the plans, it looks beautiful. All of the big pine trees that they're going to plant along there is to me very sufficient. But I think this is the third plan that has moved forward. We'll see what happens. Now, I wanted to make sure you all were aware. We are going to take residents up there if you'd like to go. It is on the 12th of August, and the bus will leave at 6 p.m. from the mailroom. So anyone that wants to go, please come down there and we'll go up there and tackle them together. See what happens. Any questions on the expansion? Okay. All right, construction, really not a whole lot going on new here. The AL and the memory support construction's moving on just fine. It looks to me like through our meetings, if any of you have seen that, the theater and the bar and the lounge area over there, those may be done by the end of August, but really the project's going to be, most of that project's going to be completed by the end of the year, but a lot of it by the end of September. So that's moving forward pretty well. All right, we talked about these guys. We know all about the silverfish, so let's move on unless anybody has a question. No? Good, okay. All right, water. Do you guys like my beautiful pictures that I put on? I think it took me longer to find those than it did to put the stuff together. But anyways, I know this has been a hot topic. Sediment in the water. I did speak to one resident who I think takes the shower nozzle off of his shower head and cleans the little filter out and does that. We want to get away from that kind of stuff. I do understand that it's gotten better. I think Dale and I are really just trying to identify those apartments, those residents that's really affecting. But Dale is consulting with Missouri Water and then Gerald Mechanical Engineering, and then we're going to talk with them about what else we can really do to leave this situation. I'm not sure what that is yet, but I just want to let you know that Dale has already consulted with people to have them discuss this whole situation. We need to get the background on it first. Okay, so landscaping's another big topic. I will say this, I think a lot of these trees too, we got really hit with these cicadas.
Yeah.
And actually I was at my mom's over the weekend and her trees they're dead on the ends of a lot of the limbs, and I think that's really what it is. But Dale met with lawn groomers about the landscaping, and we discussed some of those trees that are concerns, especially as you enter the building. I think that'd be the first entrance. There are several dead trees right there, so that's not really a good look. But we really just need to identify, those trees. We're going to talk about pruning with them, removal and replacement. In the contract, there is some light pruning. We don't know what light pruning is yet, so we'll figure that out. And also, Dale and I had a capital budget meeting last week, and we've got some money in our capital to do some of this landscaping, whether that's planting new trees or pruning and things like that. I will say this too, I've also noticed in my walks around the community, there are some spaces that the ground is swaled where trees were removed and obviously never replaced there. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff too that I've noticed. But yeah, we were happy to see some of that capital is in there, and an additional amount of money has been placed in there for 2025. So we are going to address these issues. Has everybody had deep cleaning?
Are you kidding?
Oh, I thought it started. Paul told me it's been going on for a long time. No, I'm teasing. I'm teasing. All right, so this will begin. Okay, I know you all were communicated with about July 1 as being a deep cleaning time frame. So I do know Paul has hired a new gentleman in housekeeping and a floor tech and a housekeeper. Actually, I've worked with him in my past. He's a very good employee. But these will begin. I wanted to let you guys know this. The second part was, I understand there was a coupon thing here. Okay, coupons were delivered to people, and you use those for different or specific items. I think we're going to go ahead and move away from coupons. I think you all moved away from them anyways, and we'll phase all that out. I think Paul and his team worked with those residents that had them and tried to get those things taken care of. So we'll do what the contract says, which is an annual deep cleaning. I think that's the way to go. And I know Paul and his team will start to deliver a message to your door, right, Paul? We're going to do a message on your door frame or your door handles that they'll be doing the deep cleaning and things like that, okay? So that's going to start. That's where communication needs to start to let you know when you're getting that, okay? We got a lot of catching up to do. I know the dog park, I think, was an issue at one point. I'm assuming with the contractors leaving items out there and things like that. So I know Paul spoke with BSI and made sure that construction materials are not to be stored there. So I believe that's taken care of. Okay. Transportation. Oh, man. Okay. So the first thing that we did with this department, and Beth is so good and gracious to take this on, but we moved transportation to the life enrichment team, which makes sense because it's that way in every other community that I've ever been in, and I believe all of the LSS communities. The life enrichment team sort of manages these things, but before you guys get me on this, we have hired someone. You guys know Yolanda.
Yeah.
Yolando Phillips. She's been promoted to the transportation coordinator. So she's going to be.
Good.
Okay, that's great. So she will really be running that area, and she'll be available for communication with you all. Communication stays the same. You all still keep putting it in the Touchtown or Uniguest system. Do that. Some of you call the concierge as well. So go ahead and continue to do that. I think the big thing here is availability. We need more availability. So we are in the process of looking for drivers as well. But a first step, I think hiring Yolanda will be really good. I think she knows the system pretty well too. So I wanted to give you a little update. The shuttle bus, it's a 6-person shuttle bus. We had a transmission issue. Looks like they're working on it starting August 6th, and it'll be completed August 7th. So we're thinking the first week of August, we will hopefully get this bus back. And then the big bus, we're still having some issues there. I'm not sure about what's going on with that one. And then obviously the bigger bus is going fine. So. This has been done this year, right? I'm teasing. You guys will know me eventually. So I know this is a big one too. In my past too, we've always done this in the fall. So I don't think it's unusual to do it in the fall. I understand here though, it's been done in the spring. So this year, obviously it won't. But we are obtaining bids for this. We're going to do this, okay? The exterior and the interior, we're going to do both, okay? And as well, we're going to do the power washing of your decks and all that kind of stuff. So, I don't know what the date is on this. I understand the issues surrounding this. You know, what floors to start on first. I understand, you know, you start on the first floor, move up, then we're going to have first floor an issue. So we understand all of that stuff, and, you know, I just want to let you all know that this is on our radar, and we're going to get moving forward with this. The last bid when we walked in here was not really a good bid, so we'll move on and find a new one. So, dining and food, there's never really any issues there, so I'll move on to. And you get steak like that every night. So, so I want to be very transparent with you. Michelle and I have not got to really sit down and go over this department yet. I've been just monitoring and eating my lunches here. Am I too close to this, Chuck? Okay. And eating my lunches here and getting my own opinion about things. But in my experience, just know dining and food is always been the biggest department. Can anybody give me their favorite restaurant in St. Louis? Just blurt it out. What's your favorite restaurant in St. Louis?
John Menio's.
John Menio's? Okay.
Annie Guns.
Annie Guns. Spiro's?
Yes.
Yaya's? Gosh, I've only been to one. Okay. Okay. So the reason why I asked that is eat there every day. Eat there every day and tell me if it is still your favorite restaurant. Okay? So we're gonna have some misses, we're gonna have some hits. Okay? If the misses are better, or if the hits are better than the misses for a large percentage of the time, we're making progress. So give us some more time on this. I think the biggest thing, and that's why I bullet pointed this, was menu changes. Because that has been the overwhelming
And
consistency in just menu changes. Okay? So give us some time and we'll move forward. I will say this, from what I've had in the kitchen, it's been pretty good. But there are issues. Always are. In every community I've been to. Okay. Questions for me? Yes, sir.
Back to transportation.
Yes.
In the past, you provided shuttle service to the polls for the election.
Is there going to be transportation for Tuesday's election?
Working on it. Okay, Beth's working on it. So, is that the old answer? Okay. But how about this answer? We're going to do the best we can to have transportation for you to get to the vote. Yes, sir.
We appreciate your enthusiasm. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank
The living is full. The assisted living and the continuing care are not. When do you visualize that occupancy will rise so that your financial results will improve?
Well, I'll tell you this. I looked at financials from last month, and it wasn't bad. So, when you're budgeted for a loss, that's not good. And then you had the loss, but the loss wasn't as good as the loss that you were budgeted for. Does that make sense? That's good, but it wasn't 7-digit losses. Okay, so things I think are improving. I look back on some financials from last year, and they're much better. than they were. It's all about occupancy, and it's all about getting this construction done for the AL units, because from my understanding, we are working on actual wait listers that are waiting to come into the AL. Talking to Kelly and Julie and all those girls about our independent living side. Once we get this thing constructed up top of the hill, am I in the right direction here?
Yes.
We feel like we can fill that up pretty quickly as well. But it's all about getting this AL finished and the memory support as well, because the memory support's a big piece of that. Okay. Yes, sir.
Second thing you mentioned, food quality, it's also a matter of service in the dining room. What are we doing to improve the number of waiters and waitresses, and what are we doing to train them?
Well, unfortunately, school's coming back, so we're going to lose some of those guys, right?
Hire older adults.
Yeah, I see a few here that might be able to. You're correct. We've had very good success with that. It's all about hiring the right people. It's getting the right people. I can't tell you exactly. I wish I could. I don't understand all of the training that we do in that department yet. I will know that, but I think you hit on it. I mean, it's definitely about training, and my motto, and this is one thing, if you guys don't know Joanne Skelton, she's here now, and we were both at Bethesda Meadow. And if you hire people with good customer service, good people, we can train on anything else. We'll make mistakes, and when we make mistakes, because we're good people and we're talking about customer service, you all will forgive us for those things, okay? That's what I want to do. I want to hire good people, but this is across the board, everyone. It's a tough situation. It really is. But I will say, the movement that I see here at LSS regarding hiring is pretty good compared to my past life. It wasn't real good. So I know that didn't answer everything, but I need to find some more information. Okay? Anything else? Yes, ma'am.
You mentioned showing up at the door for the bus. You mentioned something about showing up at the door for the bus to go up to City Hall. That won't work. There might be 40 people and you've got a bus for 22. So we've always had signups.
Okay. Do you think that we'll have any issue with too many people going? Okay. Well, we could do, I don't see an issue where we couldn't do a couple trips. I mean, City Hall is only 5 minutes.
That's what we did last time.
Okay, so we did 2 trips last time. We're gonna start it at 6. Those who aren't able to get on that bus will come right back.
Well, that
Okay.
last meeting, it was full standing room only, and even into another room where they had to put a television.
That's great. That's what we want this time too. So we'll do a little shuttle, however we can do it. There was one way in the back. Yes.
Future residents from the independent living community, or are they open to people from the outside?
Well, definitely she asked if the assisted living slots.
Repeat the question, please.
She asked if those rooms in assisted living were for the residents here or from outside the community. The residents here will get first priority, okay? Anything remaining from there, I will say this, I believe there's an additional 47 units. That's gonna take a little time. So I don't think it's something where you won't have an opportunity to get into one of those rooms, or a friend of yours or whoever. But the Mason Pointe residents always have first priority. Okay? Does that answer? Yeah. But, you know, if there's someone who qualifies to go into assisted living and we have 25 units, it doesn't make sense for us not to allow that person as well. So, yes, sir, there's a 2-question minimum, so we're going to have to move on.
Since occupancy is so key, can you incentivate the contractor to finish the work more quickly?
I think this is moving on pretty quick, as far as what I've seen. I mean, we'll be done with that majority of phase 2 by the end of August, September. So I think that's going pretty well. As far as financial stability is what you're really talking about, it's really all about the independent living building. That's the building that we need to get built to really become financially stable where we're at. But don't get yourselves worried. The financials are getting better and better every month. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
I would like to make an observation. Transportation has been switched to lifestyle improvement. Communication is mostly handled by them. How are they to handle all of this? I just think that part of our problem is that we do not have enough staff to handle these necessary issues for it to be covered. These people work.
They do. It's a great department, but that's why we hired a coordinator. That coordinator position was not available to Life Enrichment. We had someone in there in the facility management department at more of a, I think she was driving and doing some coordinator. This is a full-time coordinator position. She is going to do some driving, but it's not like we're pushing this on to Life Enrichment and then not adding a position. Okay?
Did we ever get the new bus that we were promised?
Okay, I don't know about a new bus that was promised, but I'll look into that.
So they have an answer for the polls, if you want to share them. Okay, so for the polls, that is August 6th. I will be on PTO, so we will not have a backup driver for medical. So I'm going to speak with Yolanda, and I think that she would agree that an 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. trip to the polls would be appropriate to not interfere with medical runs at 9:30. So I will speak with her, and we will get signups on Touchtown, and we'll have signups for that today at 1:45 then. Okay?
All right, one other thing that I wanted to do, I wanted to introduce Joanne Skelton. So Joanne came. So actually, she runs the department now. But Joanne came with me from Bethesda Meadows. She was the, let's see, you were you were the boss there too. But she was my assistant at Bethesda Meadow, and Joanne can pretty much do anything that you need her to do, like many of these employees around here. But she's going to be a big part of Dale's team and all those guys, and moving a lot of this, which is building and grounds, moving this forward. So, and the communication.
What is Joanne's title, please?
Residential Environmental Coordinator. REC, it works just fine.
Residential Environmental Coordinator.
Where's her office?
Right next to Dale.
Okay.
Right next to Dale. Yeah.
We can't see her back here.
Come on up here, Joanne.
Hi there. Am I that short?
Now dance.
I'm being blinded by the light. I just want to say thank you for having me. I've been here about 3.5 weeks, and the welcome that you all have given me and with the staff has been amazing. So looking forward to meeting the rest of you.
Joanne, I call her Joe. But Joanne and I have called each other on a couple of occasions driving home, and we just say, can you believe we're at this place? So it really, truly is a wonderful community. It really is. These guys make it, the employees here and all of you all. All of this stuff is very important. The main thing I want you all to know is Dale and I are going to do whatever we can to improve this. I can't do it all. I promise I won't be able to do it all for whatever reason, okay? But we're going to improve things and make it better each month. That's our goal, and that's what we're going to do. So, okay. Anything else? Yes, ma'am.
Could you address the front entry, how we get in and out of the front entry? So you have to have the card because it's locked all the time.
Okay, yeah.
Can you address that?
Thank you for bringing that up, because that reminded me also, I think Royce brought this up, about the entrance into our community. And I think that was brought, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'll address that one too. She asked about the entrance into the doorways and the key system, because I think you have to hit this and then you have to run up here and let the door see you and all that kind of stuff.
That's right.
But I did hear that initially regarding coming into Mason Pointe. I am with you all as far as I would not want that section to be closed off, to be entered or exited. Exiting, especially for those that are in that garage right there. And yeah, it gives you a little bit more time to merge all the way left to get onto the highway. So I totally agree with you. I don't think that's a major issue anymore. I don't think that's even proposed in the plans. I'll make sure, but I don't think it is. She was asking about the doorway. Are we having issues getting into the main entrance in IL? No? Some people are. Is it badges, or is it not really understanding how to do the system? Badges? Okay. If it's badges, I did read this in the notes. I promise I did read all the notes. I did. If it's badges, what I want to make sure that you all do is contact us so that we can find out who actually is having the issue with your badge. Not everybody is. So those of you that are, or know, maybe it's a neighbor or something, and your badge isn't working, please let us know. I know Dale and Joanne know how to run the badge system now. So if it's a bad one, then we'll get you a new one. Okay? If it's process, we'll show people how to use that too. I know Barb showed me how to do that a couple weeks ago. Because it can get a little bit confusing when you're hitting this and you have to, do this. Yes, ma'am.
I also have a comment. When we first came, we could get in and out of that door anytime during the day. It's very confusing now, so anytime you leave, take your key with you, because if there's nobody at the concierge desk, you're not going to be able to get in.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point too, and something Barb and I talked about today. We had an employee not here today, and so we had to take the concierge and bring him to the health center. Just communicating all that with you all so that you understand that, we may not have a concierge there. I think she is there now at 11:30. Just letting you all know those kinds of things. There was a lot of other things in the notes that I read, porch pirates, taking your packages possibly in the bin for Amazon deliveries and things like that. I don't think it's been a problem here that I know of. It could be a potential problem, but right now, to me, it's not an issue. If you all are getting your packages delivered, I think we should be good. You all tell me differently if there is. I know you will. So there was a lot of those notes. Trust me, I am reading those notes in the system, and I'll address as many of those as I can. Okay? All right, that's it. I see a couple people doing this.
I have an ending thing perhaps to say, and that is, I'm thinking back to the meeting with the people up the hill who were opposed
To our expansion, and thinking, boy, those people better get on the list and pray that they are lucky enough to join us soon.
Yes.
Well, I love that. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. The expansion, we need this expansion for those people on the wait list too that are wanting to come in here, and all of these new friends and people that we get to meet and add to our family. So thank you all. Next meeting is August 26th. All right, thank you.